Hi, hello, how are ya? Welcome to the Oracle Consularship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your Oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the finest for a channel reading. It's a little bit more of an open reading because we know a little bit about which we talk. Now, if you're new, welcome. You belong to welcome home. It's a delight and an honor and a pleasure to have you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to serve you. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Remember, you can shorten the time of the video by playing it faster, all the way up to twice as fast. It's somewhere in the video settings if you're over on the platform. And then most often, not always, but most often, there is a summary in the show notes. It may take a couple hours to be published. It's not published at the exact time that the video is, sometimes a little bit before, sometimes a little bit after. It's always between the hums and hands. We have the energy already, so why don't we just speed on through here? I'm hearing the song Just Want to Be Your Girl. I'll look up the lyrics if I feel called. We have the Eight of Swords. It's the King of Pentacles, King of Cups, and the Devil. Ooh. Okay, so the initial four cards are the overall energy as we're gathered today for the Oracle Consularship. They pretty much give the baseline, bottom line orientation of the energy brought to us by Liminal 11. We will be imposing the guidance from This Met Her Tarot by Isabella Rotman. Again, she's over at Liminal 11 Publishing, at least for this deck. Okay. So it's not always a bad thing when we see the devil. It usually talks about falseness, illusions, fear, or ignorance. Especially with the King of Pentacles, it could talk about sun or midheaven in the sign of Capricorn. So Capricorn midheaven would be an Aries rising. And it can talk about somebody that's unscrupulous. I need to see a few more cards, perhaps the moon and a couple other things like fives, etc. But we have an eight of swords. Also, we have a king of cups. I repeat, we have the eight of swords, the king of pentacles, king of cups, devil. Eight of swords, king of pentacles, king of cups, devil. The eight of swords talks about rule, regulation, restriction. It can be second guessing. It can be bound in some kind of way. So restriction could be anything from an unwanted pregnancy to being detained, even incarcerated, more like jail, not prison. It's rule, regulation, restriction, which equates to being wrangled down and restrained. It can be also being brought under somebody else's authority or having to deal with somebody else's timeline that doesn't quite jive with us. Also, with the King of Cups and the Devil, it could talk about somebody that's a Cancer. Um, so a Libra rising. It could talk about somebody that's a Cancer midheaven, which would be a Libra rising. So we have either a Libra rising, an Aries rising, or a Capricorn sun, or somebody that's shady, shady, shasty with their money, but we don't have enough to support that. Because normally the court cards from the Pentacles would dilute the negative energy of the devil, but that is the devil. Fear, illusion, falsities, ignorance. It's some type of toxicity, negativity. It can be evil, sinister, and wicked, but we need a bunch of fives around, specifically the Five of Swords. So we don't know yet. It can be bondage or stuck, or when we see the opportunity for ascend, we're not able to meet that bar. And I'm hearing that song. I don't know the lyrics. Let me pause for a second. Just Wanna Be Your Girl is Jordan Sparks. Okay. So we've got King of Swords here with the Sun, Two of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. So I'm getting a few things. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. From Ripe Avocado, we will be using the Minor Arcana from the Cosmic Coven Tarot to deliberate any findings for pairing energy. That's multiples. A triple this, a double this, which is a pairing, a set of this, which is 4. So we have 3 kings out on the board already. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that. And we have a message from the other side. It fell face down. 9 of Cups. So this is, it can be on the negative, vainglorious. Well, let's look. Okay, well, it's not on the negative, but there is some karma here, 10 of Wands. So, and then this other side thus far, at this current precise time, it hasn't shown up as a person. I know when we see a king, we think it's another person. If anything, the only king here that has given us a sign is the King of Pentacles, which means we're dealing with the Capricorn, midheaven, or sun sign, meaning that we would be in this energy. If we're not a Capricorn or have it in our chart strongly, it could be that we're looking, that we're rigid in our boundaries or standards. We're meticulous in our acumen. And sometimes people hear rigid and boundaries and standards and they think, oh, rigidity, that's bad. Rigorous application of a high level standard is not always bad. You would want that from an engineer or a doctor. You hear what I'm saying? But 9 of Pentacles combined with the 9 of Cups combined with the 4 of Pentacles on our side, we're happy because we've made it. We've achieved something. So we were able to secure something. With the 4 of Pentacles, other side, Page of Wands. There's some, wanting either to come from the future back into the past and share information, usually positive in its nature, make an invitation, or there's some type of spark. Somebody possesses an internal flame. They're being prepared for some type of transmission of power that comes through association. Typically, it's because you're born into a specific family. But also, Page of Wands, 10 of Wands, that could be feeling burdened, feeling overwhelmed, feeling oppressed. And this would be the general energy, sometimes a third party. So there can be some energy, entity, ideology, or some type of karmic compounding, chaotic cacophony of a cycle. 10 of Wands could talk about generational curses, especially with certain cards here, the Devil, the Page of Wands. That could be a generational curse, a hex, or something like that. And then the combined energy is the 3 of Pentacles. There is some type of click, coven, cabal. There's some kind of energy working. I don't trust the 10 of Wands with the 3 of Pentacles together. That could be erecting a foundation, but I don't see the 8 of Pentacles. I don't see the Tower. That would mean erecting a foundation, having to build some type of platform for the public, for altruistic endeavors, or build something that's going to last through the ages, or a legacy. I'm not seeing it. I'm getting that so what I'm getting thus far, my dear, is that this is our higher self, our lower self. We're coming up and out of something. We're returning to the eternal kingdom, 10 of Cups. We were in some kind of illusion, delusion, confusion, so much so that it was falsity, ignorance, fear, and illusion, or ignorance. And we were under some type of binding because of toxicity or evil or negative influence. But it kind of got exposed, stunned. We were able to master some type of practical skill, King of Re Denari, King of Pentacles. We were able to master some kind of practical skill. And with the King of Swords, we might have also mastered some type of technical skill and mastered the unconditional love of the divine. So we have this convergence of 3 energies: our unconditional love, meaning our authentic, genuine, sincere self. We mastered ourselves as a spiritual being. We mastered ourselves as a worldly being, and we mastered ourselves, maybe not socially, but in and of the high-ranking players, those who have some type of media, academia, accreditation, testimonials. We were able to qualify. And what that did is it allowed us to deal with this negative energy or evil influence or toxicity, whatever blemish was there in the past, whatever made us stuck. We were able to attend to the situation, or we were able to know how to deal with it with a 10-foot pole. The devil and the Two of Pentacles can be, you know, if you dine with the devil, make sure you use like a 10-foot pole or a 30-inch spoon or something. I don't recall. Please, you can correct me in the comments. I don't actually recall because it never really applied to me. It's not That's not something that was ingrained in my socialization, but I'm recalling that right now. Um, if you grant me a second. Also, the sun coming out after the Two of Pentacles means over the next 2 months, we're going to be coming into this happily ever after or the eternal kingdom, or we're going to find the right community, the right, I heard the word stage, but I don't see the Four of Wands yet. We have the Seven of Pentacles, Hermit, Strength, and the Wheel. La Fortuna, La Ruota. It's the Wheel of Destiny here. So the Wheel of Fortune. So over the next week or so, we're going to find our emotional fortitude, our strength, courage, and wisdom. Over the next week or so, we're going to handle up on something, some kind of one pressing matter, or generally address the situation. Over the next week ago, there's going to be some shifts and changes. We're going to have a dimensional shift. We're going to ascend the realms out of the hellish state into the paradise. Now, there's multiple terminologies there because, I mean, we're making pieces get out our notes today. I just wrote this into the codex, so this is nearby. So we have an intended outcome of fulfillment, but right now we're coming out of some kind of visceral, emotional cycle or something where it was abusive and violent. Because we're also going to be able to get to the bottom of something. So that's again another reason for the sun. That's growth, warmth, vitality, reinvigoration, enumeration, enlightenment. Hierophant, Ace of Wands, Ten of Wands, Magician. Okay, so we may be dealing with another side. I don't know yet. Let's keep going. Queen of Wands, Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Five of Swords, Temperance. Okay, so we'll know for sure in the clarifications, but what I'm sensing so far is that it's no longer about another person. But in the ethers, we're dealing with another person, not just an energy, an entity, an ideology. This entity is in a being, and this being is incarnate. It's a witch. And I differentiate the word witch from healer because a witch had to go to the spirit in order to get their power. They had to make a dark agreement, and the healer was given it through lineage or God. Temperance means spiritual perfection, healing, harmony, peace, tranquility. Then we have the Five of Swords on our side, and it's clarified by two threes. So a pair of threes means collaboration, cooperation, co-creation. However, If you see a cup or a pentacle, it may be that we have cliques, covens, and cabals, and then we have cabals, 3 of pentacles, and covens, 3 of cups. So we were blocked, 5 of swords. We were revoked or withdrawn from, 5 of swords. Somebody imposed some type of punishment on us, 5 of swords. They wanted us to experience disgrace, 5 of swords. With the temperance there, they wanted us to lose our peace, lose our tranquility, come up off our throne, act a fool, act out of our energy. Now, with the Queen of Cups in the Temperance card there, it would suggest that somebody was trying to hide in our aura, hide in our energy, or they wanted to cover up the fact that they had done some unsanctioned union to us. And I bet you we will find out here, because there isn't there's something here where there's a trigger going off. It's not an alert yet because it's only 1-7, but there is a strategy, an agenda, a tactic, and it's correlated with the plan. See, the agenda is the 7 of Pentacles. The plan is the 3 of Pentacles. So Hierophant with the 7 of Pentacles can mean Saturn in Taurus, Saturn in the 2nd house. We have the King of Swords with the 8 of Swords, which means somebody wanting somebody to yield under authority, to wrangle down, to wanting somebody to submit. King of Swords with the 5 of Swords, wanting somebody to heal, to lay down their ego and submit, period. Now, on our end, we have everything we're supposed to. We were crowned to be able to manifest. We were crowned with a fortune to be able to manifest, magician, our heart's desires, soul's ambitions, 10 of Cups. For some reason, in the physical, 3rd dimension, the devil, this bottom line here is the 3rd dimension, was able to get in and infiltrate, penetrate with evil, sinister wickedness, or some type of toxic, negative influence, whatever, what have you. So much so that it did yield a result for whatever the intention was. So if some energy, entity, ideology was impressing upon us a season of lack or a season of dark trial and tribulation, it did happen. But you see, we have a creative new beginning here, Ace of Wands, because we were able to get to the bottom of something, Hermit, because we looked through things with divine eyes and an open heart. So growth, expansion, vitality, renewal, reinvigoration, something became enlightened, enumerated. Sun card. Now, I think that there was an energy, entity, ideology here that wanted to do some type of suppress, repress, oppress, depress, because at the very, 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 very least, it was some type of repression. We have the Queen of Wands with the Strength card. That could be a couple few things. Queen of Wands with the 10 of Wands. That means that's the warden of hell with the devil present. It's technically it's purgatory. So it's not so much karmic purification and punishment as it is karmic cleansing and re-education. Somebody thought they were going to bring us to heal in the most subtle and soft ways. And see, I don't like that type of ruler. You don't need to walk me around the block like a dog on a leash. Tell me what's up, be about what you're about. If I'm not in alignment with your standards and boundaries, speak it, name it. Let's make it so. If you need to raise the bar, raise the bar. Because if you're worried about how I'm going to react or what I'm going to feel or what I'm going to say, you ain't it. You ain't the business. That's what's up. Truth purifies illusion. So whatever you lose by speaking the truth, you weren't losing anything. You was filtering something out. And if you need to shuck and jive and massage and assuage and hide the truth to protect your feelings and obscure the facts, that's a lie. So you can say, hey, I want you and I don't want you around if you don't want me back. Okay. Hey, I have a resentment because I'm attracted to you and I made my move and you didn't return that. Okay. Because what I'm discovering here is that there's a Queen and King of Cups, and it feels to me like some unsanctioned union, or at the very least, we on our end, Five of Swords, revoked this union. Because the Queen with the Devil is always a witch. The Queen of Wands with the Devil is a witch. Just like the King of Wands with the Devil would be a warlock. Now, we also have the Queen of Cups, so that could be an Aries rising. That could also be some type of somebody who's not in alignment emotionally. They may have some pathology. They may have some type of dependency that's in enmeshment. Hierophant and the Devil, that's oath breaking, vow breaking. It's corruption. Seven of Pentacles with the Devil, that's sowing seeds of demise, planting evil, landmines, essentially. King of Swords and the Devil, that's cruelty. King of Cups and the Devil, that's somebody who's a deep, deep, deep abuser. Same thing with the Ten of Cups and the Devil. That's abuse, violence and abuse, not just doing too much of something, but this is actually harm intentionally. Hermit and the Devil, that is actually somebody who's a toxic personality style, usually of the antisocial kind. Whether it's malignant, malevolent, covert, don't matter, don't care, grandiose, who cares? It's entitlement, it's manipulation, it's toxic personality style. Sun and the Devil, something's going to get exposed coming in out of the darkness into light, but until that happens, it's going to be overt aggression, and somebody needs to be eclipsed out. They need to be cut out like a bad cancer, period, point blank. Now, to another degree, we can have some kind of this somebody with their sun in an earth sign. It doesn't need to be that the devil is bad, but I'm saying that since it's a general reading. Because the Five of Swords with the Devil is cruelty. It's wanting to cut somebody down. It's wanting to see them deleted and canceled out. And unfortunately, we do have what we need to handle up on this, but there's going to need to be some cleansing and clearing. Because at the very least, somebody's carrying a flame and it's not meeting our standards and boundaries, or we're procrastinating, which I'm not getting. I'm not getting procrastination at all whatsoever. So that means that somebody's not getting what they want because they're not meeting our standards and boundaries, Five of Swords, and they're carrying a flame, Ten of Wands on the other side. They've been carrying this crush for forever and a day, and they're not saying no nothing. A lot of people think, giving love and caring and affection to somebody is going to make them circle the block, spin the block, and make a petition or make a move. That's not it. Some people say thank you and move on, go on about their day. Until you engage their energy, effort, and attention properly, you're not going to get what you want. To think somebody's going to pick up what you're putting down when you're not labeling and defining what it is, at the very least, or going even a step further and being direct about your needs and intentions, that's what's up. So we have a pair of queens here, Queen of Wands, and the Strength card could also be the Leo moon. To another degree, it could be a Taurus rising. If there's a Taurus rising here, they have Saturn in the first house. These pair of queens came out as the Six of Swords. So the overall energy is that there's got to be movement because something's getting canceled out, or there's going to be enlightenment after some type of breakdown comes a breakthrough. If there's a third party, it's something having to deal with love, or this is the power imbued in the situation from the divine, Two of Cups. So there should be a union here, but actually, no, it might have been some type of spell work. Eight of Cups. Perdón. Eight of Pentacles, because on our end, we're putting a block to something. The King of Swords is a no about anything related to love until there's clarity and discernment, because he's the judge. King of Swords is judgment, just like the Queen of Swords is discernment. So the King of Swords combined with the Six of Swords here wants to move on, move forward into calmer waters, and they want grace, movement, passage. Eight of Pentacles with the Six of Swords, they want entry. Two of Pentacles with the Six of Swords, they want to be able to move into some type of love. Ten of Pentacles with the Six of Swords, something can finally be over. There could be a breakthrough after a breakdown. But there's two people here on the opposing side. So it can be that there's competition. Could we also have 3-3s, which means third party triangulation? A 2-3, I hope it's at a pair of threes. So let's look that up. What is this pair of threes? We have the Knight of Pentacles. So we're the Knight of Pentacles with the Knight of Swords. So we need clarity on how to move because we're going to execute a movement very tactfully, ruthlessly, savagely, brutally, aggressively, something of that, we might seize, exploit, or we might just go no hold, no holds barred. Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, frankly, that means for a long time, somebody's been sowing seeds. They've been making an investment. They're trying to reap at another time. Even in the situation, if there's no third party, it would be Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. So that's wanting to build something for the rest of our lives, to build a legacy. Nine of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles, that's the overall situation. So we're both weary here in this situation if there is another party, or this has been going on for a long time if it's just us. I'm hearing rock your body. Come on, just rock your body. Rock your body. We also have a triple king here. So why don't we have a look? What is the Three Kings talking about? Okay, so we have no King of Wands here, but we do have a Queen of Wands. So that means high vibration. And overall energy here is the Page of Pentacles. So somebody needs to be recognized. They need a very solid recognition that, hey, you see me being high vibrational and charismatic, and that you're on a path to giving me affection, adoration, appreciation, acknowledgement. That there's going to be some give and take here. Six of Pentacles. But also that can be Six of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, that a third party is doing some witchy cuckoo, like some brujeria, santeria. They're doing some stregeria, benederia, some kind of fortune telling, because the opposing side, like if we're connected to somebody, it's the Four of Swords. Or if we're not connected to somebody, this would be the astral position, the fourth dimension. So something could be pinned down in a jar, some type of energetic or quarantine, basically, frozen in place. It could be a freezer spell, a jar spell. And there also, this could be generally in the environment surrounding location, some kind of trauma. Four of Swords, that means concussed or resuscitation or convalescence, needing to rest. So there could be a trauma, because where we are at is the Six of Wands. We're in an elevated, exalted position. We've received glory, and this other side wants to receive favor, but it might be connected to an external party is what I'm getting. And we may be dealing with a Virgo sun as well. We may be dealing with a Taurus sun as well. Or Leo rising. Somebody may have their Saturn in the 9th house of Sagittarius or the sign of Sagittarius. And then also there may be some kind of Taurus rising again. So 2 for Taurus rising. Aquarius midheaven or Taurus rising. The Vertex of Abundance is a galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. From Los Scarabea, we will be using the Vita Sabila Daily Oracle to deliberate any findings for correlative or corresponding energy. So we got 2 for Taurus. Let's have a look. What is this Taurus energy? So it could be second house, it could be a Taurus aspect, or it's actually Taurus energy in somebody's chart. We have delirante. That means missing an opportunity because you stuck on stupid, or you were drunk in stupor, or you were innocent, naive, and not able to think for yourself because there were too many noises or voices in the crowd or too many cooks in the kitchen. The general theme of delirante. Basically, a message didn't come through because we were overwhelmed, occupied, or inundated with external energy or a lack of our own energy. And if we're connected to somebody, dispiacere, they're been made to cry, essentially. Now, it doesn't always mean tears, but it can mean that they had to stop and take a knee and accept a momentary or permanent L. Okay? Because the nature of the situation, in terms of divinity imbued upon the situation, is some type of mercante, which means that everything is actually in place. Perhaps after this displeasure, this tears shed, because the message is coming through. It's already actually made it, whether or not we picked it up or not. Something has arrived, and it's l'amante. So love is here, but we're not seeing it, we're not getting it. Also, we have a pair here, the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. What is this about, please? Okay, so both parties might be suffering a hardship. One of them might have been put out or left out in the cold or abandoned. Because there's triangulation here. So there can be a wound, some type of trauma, active trauma. It's not healed yet. So it's still some kind of experience. Seven of Pentacles, that might have been some type of um, craft work, ritual to separate, because somebody here wants favor, or they had to give their energy to somebody else. Because where we're at is this, we're healing from the wound. So there, an external energy might have come inside and slow this connection down. And now I see why there would be procrastination or Five of Swords, because we might have moved too slow and might not have said enough. And saying enough is not always about saying like, oh, hey, I like you or whatever. It might be just saying a standard and boundary. We might have not liked what was going on, so we didn't participate, instead of saying like, hey, actually, that doesn't work for me. That's why I'm not too interested, or why you haven't heard anything from me in response. I don't really provide explanations myself, but sometimes if I'm prompted to, if a person doesn't have curiosity, investigation, examination, if they don't try to assist the situation, I let them think whatever they think. Because the way I see it is, you have access to the horse's mouth and you want to believe some bull crap from the donkey's anus, why don't I let you? That's you and yourself, you and your karma, you and your life, you and your path. I'm going to leave that to you and your mama. Bye. It's less energy. And doesn't mean I'm unkind or cruel or whatever, what have you. But like, if you're not checking for me, I'm not checking for you. And it doesn't mean like I've abandoned you, I don't care about you. If you don't state your needs and intentions, they're probably not going to get met. That's what life is about. When you take risk in life, you take reward in life. That's just how that goes. But something was supposed to come together, and there's some type of compact here. So there's an agreement on the spiritual level, whether we know it or not. Grant me a moment. We have an echo. Let me see what it is. It's force energy. Virgo came to. I see Virgo sun here, so we might be dealing with somebody that's a Virgo sun on the periphery, or something would have happened during Virgo season, either last Virgo season or this upcoming Virgo season. There's deceit here, which means somebody, and this is not inside, so it's not having to deal with us. Somebody, there might be a deceitful Virgo. I'm sorry. I hope that's not true. And it doesn't mean that they're being like evil. It might mean that they're not being truthful about their feelings. Here it says, actions do not match their words, living a lie and won't even admit it to themselves, pretends their feelings for you do not exist, and is dismissive of you. I don't read it here because it's so external, but so you have to, I'm going to read it this time, but don't apply it between us and this other person. Think of it like a person's, like a shark swimming around, in circles. Before they attack, this is what they'll be thinking. I don't even know why I'm lying to myself about the way I feel. I may act as if I do not even care, but deep down I know it's because I care too much, and that makes me very afraid. So we're pulling on this King and Queen of Cups. Vertex of Abundance is a galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book concession, send a donation. From Etsy, we will be deliberating the findings for any type of matching energy for union. From Vibe About It Tarot, using the Pop of Love Oracle. We'll be using the Pop of Love Oracle to deliberate any type of pairing energy from Vibe About It Tarot. And again, that's over at Etsy. This is going to be an extended reading, so the information will be in the show notes. So we have odious opinions. There is a third party. Unrelatable and unrelatable or unsympathetic advice, easily influenced by others and their viewpoints, unpleasant opinions, creating doubt and denial of connection. I was foolish to believe the opinions of others. I shouldn't have trusted my heart. Okay, yeah. So this is not coming really from us. And this is the other person feeling bad that they let either somebody interfere or believe some BS from somebody else, because they were allowed to sit in their pessimism. So they did something to get out of it that wasn't correct, because part of their feelings were painted by the facts and opinions of others without them getting the real story from us. Because part of this devil means that we're scary. We're not easily approachable. Somebody may be perceiving rejection or perceiving overcritical, we're too much to approach. Unpleasant opinions creating doubt and denial of the connection. I was foolish to believe the opinions of others. I should have trusted my heart more than others thought about our connection. Please forgive me for doubting our connection. Okay. I'm getting a whole lot from this, and I'm just like grossed out by it. Like, I don't want to deal with that. Aries, somebody should have took action, past life energy. And so there may be an Aries external to us because the person that we're connected to is insecure right now. And honestly, we didn't do enough, we didn't move quickly enough, or we didn't say enough or whatever, because either they were getting too little from us, or they weren't perceiving the connection, because we were bringing out things that they needed to confront. And so false flame sometimes comes out when there is a connection, there is a flame, but we're not working through it together. And when we separate, one of us doesn't heal either. because the flame is supposed to activate you even if we can't heal together, we're healing apart. It still activated both parties. One person got activated or we didn't heal together. There was too much distress and conflict. Somebody wasn't clear on how they felt. And there was this uncomfortability. Because this is the past life energy, but there's some external energy on the outside, impatient, moody, angry, impulsive, and they probably were talking smack. So we also have over here Libra energy. We'll bring that out in the extended. I want to know why we have the Magician with this Three of Cups. Gran Constellazione. It's the heart's desire, soul's ambitions here. A message has come through that if there's a reunion, we can work together. If we run into each other again, we can work together. If we are able to make contact with each other, we can work this together because now there's room and space for this. Time and energy, room and space to work this out. But it is going to be, we're looking for something that broadens our horizons here. We're not just going to take any old willy-nilly. But I think we're getting the message that the thing that we're wanting has arrived. But either this is something that we found by surprise, or it was heart's desires at one time and it went away, and now that came back, it's kind of like, yeah, because the Grand Constellazione is still there, Grand Constellation is still here, but there might be some kind of appearance of challenges. Because this means everything's burned down to the ground, but if everything's already burned down to the ground, this is the thing that lets you out of the prison that or the drama. This is the thing that ends the drama. Okay. Because something is coming back. Something is coming back domestical. It's a return. What is this Seven of Pentacles with the Hierophant and some type of, oh, we checked that already. What is this devil with the Ten of Wands? Oh, we have the Ten of Wands. I didn't check that as a, what is the devil with the Ten of Wands? Tell me, tell me, tell me. La stanza. Somebody's alone with their thoughts and they realize like, oh, there's something here, there's something here. Allegrezza al cuore. So this is actually something really great. It's going to warm our heart in ways that we cannot measure. But they're sitting alone with their affections that they haven't shared. But look, La Matrice, Queen of Cups, L'amante, Knight of Cups. It's the person who hasn't been let into a union, but the flame for the union is there. We have a pairing that I didn't check into. We have a pair of tens here. Yeah, they said if you love something, let it go. If it comes back for sure, then that's how you know. King of Pentacles. There might be something external. I feel like there was a block external because we have King of Wands, King of Pentacles, King of Swords, and there's three kings in this reading as well with the Five of Swords. So there's some external energy, entity, ideology wanting us to get blocked. And we're attached to somebody with the Knight of Cups. They're going to go to wherever it appears that the love is at. But really, the power of the situation is that we need to be powerful and take action, and that's the only thing that we need to do. Because this other side is actually really dry, and I like a dry relationship, but it's saying that if we act a little bit more passionately, things will come together because the situation isn't improving, but it isn't getting worse either. There needs to be some type of reunion, some type of getting back and touching base. And this is a return. We had La Domestico, that was the Jack of Clubs, and now we have the Knight of Wands, which is the returner. somebody here is desiring a victory, and apparently we're working on something here. Seven of Cups. The bubble needed to burst a little bit because we weren't tapping into something, probably our intuition or our gifts. There's an alert that there's a mirage and a strategy agenda here. There's breadcrumbing behind the scenes, and it's designed to triangulate. This connection was interrupted. So this is the union that was interrupted, and it was perfectly done. We also have here a Sagittarius moon with the Queen of Wands and the Temperance. I'm getting Virgo Sun, Sagittarius moon energy. Meaning they're an enemy to this, a love or this blossoming. And they're doing it intentionally. What they want to do is block the heart of our life, the thing that brings joy, and it's so that they can leave us amalato in a stuck in place. Ooh, nice reading. Because well, there's some type of ego around it. Usually there's a revelation with this, which is the heart of the matter, which we would know already. And we'll find out who it is eventually. It won't stay obscured forever. Again, Virgo Sun, Sagittarius Moon. It could be some type of Virgo rising. We're taking a little bit too long going back out and returning or connecting or this is the message from the other side. They're waiting on us to come and tell us what we want. But did they ask what we want? Because we have the medicine somebody needs. I'm not the whiskey that you want, but I'm the water that you need. Okay, sweet thing. Okay, so spirit came out again, the longing, because we feel some kind of way about it. It says here that we're either desperate or jealous, but it can be that are processing some type of betrayal or some type of hurt, or I don't know. So there is longing here. This third party wants to be chosen and they've interrupted or something of that nature. They have some type of pathology. I don't know what that is. Something, some kind of complex, I mean, not pathology. Um, that's reserved for the Queen of Cups in reverse. I don't use that word otherwise, but they have some type of complex. Pick me, choose me, choose me. If they're a female, they're a pick me. If they're a male, they're um, impotent in some way. And I'm not talking about sexually. They have between their will and desire and the execution, there's a disconnect. Um, they might not take action or something of that nature. There might be, okay, I'm hearing negative words, simp, beta, all those adjectives used to, whatever that means. I'm not even certain of the definitions of those. Well, beta is somebody who supports the alpha. Alpha is large and in charge. They're direct, they take command. They go after what they want. They don't sit there and waffle, waiting on the sidelines. The wait and see kind of energy, no, this is that kind of person. But it's also saying that it might be us, or we're suffering because of that, because there's this energy of this person that we're connected to waiting for a lonely person. So that concerns me, because this is also suggesting that there was an intention to break us down. We might have been too strong and powerful. There was an intention to repress us because we wouldn't submit or heal. And then they were going to do something when we were broken or sullen or or worn down, kind of like boundary erosion is the word. We have 5 of Swords here. That could be boundaries and standards. Now, I'm going to extend this reading. This was a reading about some type of timing of something, temperance, or somebody did an attack on us in the perfect way. The attack would have been 7 of Pentacles, a strategy, an agenda, a tactic, a modus, like a motive that came along with the plan, some kind of orchestration machination. And it was a third party triangulation as well. We have a pair of threes that always means third parties, even if it's just collaboration, co-creation, cooperation. I will extend this reading in the show notes. It may take an hour. So if you're watching this right now, and you click the link, when you go to purchase the extended, I just want to let you know the extended may take another half an hour or an hour to come out, okay? But, it'll be there, don't worry. I know I did a confirmation, a clarification on the pair of pens here, but here's the deal. There's a culmination, like a cycle completing, because we're going to end up in union with somebody. We're going to attend to a situation, us. We're going to attend to a situation or said differently, we're going to share what our feelings are, and they're not good feelings. And it's going to secure something for us. But I don't do struggle love. I don't understand that. Like, if a person needs to suffer to recognize what they had when they had access to us, that means they were a karmic lesson. It's how the energy works universally. Yes and no, in and out, and come and down, and wrong and right, and stop and start, and come and go. All of that that's not what God blesses. God don't bless no mess. Universe does not deliver things in karma and chaos and confusion. That means it's from the devil, meaning ignorance, delusion, confusion. So we might need to, because the devil in the 5 of Swords means fallen or disgrace. Because this is some type of tactic, breadcrumbing. 7 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, that's breadcrumbing. Yeah. It can be that this side has perfectly crafted some kind of narrative. That's really what I'm getting. This is a reading about a perfectly crafted work that was perpetrated against us, upon us, where there was triangulation to a union that was coming. And this was a good union, Queen of Cups, King of Cups. We both felt we were about the beloved aspect. And we have everything that we need, but there might have been lies, there might have been trickery, there might have been karma. And this other side has weathered the storm. If we can attend to the situation, great, but there cannot have been any malice, any contempt. I mean, there cannot have been any malice or deceit. Contempt is part of malice. There cannot have been any malice or deceit. Okay, it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. If you want the extended reading, it'll be in the show notes. Until we meet again, Namaste, Dandava, and Ashe. Sayonara, Das Vidanya, Veda Zane. This is a quick prayer for all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, trapped in the seas of time, lost somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional, and universal oneness. And upon we love you, we're sorry, please forgive us. Thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this life. Until we meet again, until we read again. Namaste, Dandava, and Ashe. Sayonara, Das Vidanya, Avida Zain. Go ahead and smash that like button. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.